It's rather strange when somebody can't describe something, when the words just don't seem to flow because words can't really describe what you're feeling, what you're going through, whether it be wonderful or negative. Now, for me, my transformation recently has been wonderful. My spiritual transformation in the past few weeks is something I haven't really talked about very much, even with friends, but it has been, I guess you could say, eye-opening. I guess that's one thing I get attached to it. It's been enlightening. It's been so at first I thought all this energy welling up in me. I thought that it was anger. I thought it was a power that was not of my true nature. I thought it was pain making power, and then a power that would control me. But in recent days, I've realized it's not anger. It's not. It's not a power that I could use negatively against somebody. It's to well, I don't want to say this, but because it's a cliche, but it really does feel like the flames that consumes a phoenix before it becomes ash and then becomes another phoenix. I hate using that cliche, but it's very apt. Um, it's like the bald eagle who makes a choice after about 40 years. Am I going to starve to death, or am I going to hit my beak against the tree until it rips off and I start growing another beak? It's a choice that the bald eagle can make. Some bald eagles don't do it, some do. But it's a choice combined with instinct. If a bald eagle wants to survive and not have, because eventually the bald eagle's beak kind of cups around and then locks the bottom beak. If the bald eagle wants to live, if it wants to keep on going forward, then it will bash its beak against a tree for a few weeks until it rips free, and then it starts growing a new beak. A very painful process. For human beings, such a process is painful in a different way. It's painful on a more on a level that we're trying to understand ourselves. We think we have an idea of ourselves. We think we know who we are. We think we know our trajectory, where we're going, whether it be an emotional path, spiritual path, job path, family path. We think we know where we're going. In this case, it's a spiritual path. We think we know where we're going, but then all of a sudden we hit a well of gravity that draws us to another direction. I'm still moving forward, but I've taken a side path that I didn't expect to take. And I feel like it's purely because of larger forces that I've been drawn into a different direction, but still the same, different path to the same direction, rather. Um, so, how can I describe this? This power welling up in me. Uh, it has it has transferred into my own ability to understand myself. It has made my understanding of humanity in general more intrinsic to my own nature. I've always felt like I wasn't really human. I know I am human, but I've always felt like kind of distant from humanity. But this new power welling up in me is showing me that I can still be who I am, but also help other people and direct that power to help other people, as many as I can. Now, I fail often in helping other people. I'm not by any means anywhere near perfect, or do I do the correct actions all the time. But this power welling up is kind of getting rid of all of the grit that's around my path, a lot of the unnecessary things in my path, a lot of the misunderstandings in my path. Uh, Patience is a virtue, and for a long time I felt I've needed to be patient, and that when the time comes, this energy within me will have welled up enough, will have matured enough, will have been like an egg ready to hatch. And then once I reach a certain point, it'll start hatching, and then I'll become a new person. My brain and my spirit, my ego and my soul, all kind of taking a stranger path, but one that's in the same direction of helping other people, of trying to maintain the multiverse for as long as possible. It feels like there are certain gods and spirits who have not told me about this because they know I have to go through it for myself, that they can't give me all the answers, that they can't give me all the aid that they have. But instead, I need to learn to rely on that own power that's welled up in me. And I finally feel like I'm at a stage to where that power is strong enough, that energy is strong enough to where I don't necessarily need to rely upon different spirits and gods. Not that I will not continue to have a relationship with them or devote myself to Divine Mother Kali Ma and Odin, but they have allowed this power to grow in me to where I'm no longer a pleading child, but it feels like I'm becoming a man that can, this is all a spiritual metaphor, that can go out and get what he wants instead of asking for what he wants. Once again, spiritual metaphor. I've been a man for a while, but spiritually, I feel like I've been in adolescence for a while, and I realize now that I've been in adolescence, and that this new energy that has been cultivating for a long time, partly by my own effort, but a lot of the effort of my spirits and gods who have put a lot of time and energy into me as a person, because I know that my overall intentions are to basically help as many people as possible uncover their spiritual path, uncover themselves, and try to create some kind of familial aspect from my end between other human beings. The world is one family. Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The world is one family in Sanskrit. That phrase has been taped to my desk for many years, and it's been there. It's been there so long that the paper is yellowing, so it's been there for years. And it's the same tape, same phrase, and it's always right next to the camera. It's always right next to the camera, and I feel like I'm finally getting to a place to where I can help in my own way that to be true. There's a lot of spiritual people uncovering their abilities in these times, uncovering their realization of who they are, what their missions are. Not always good. Some very negative people are uncovering who they are and what their mission is. And I'm opposite to them, but there's a lot of uncovering going on right now in the past, I would say, last few years. And now we're reaching kind of a crescendo of a lot of people uncovering their paths and realizing who they are before we take up battle lines. And I believe in truth beyond duality, but there are certain and I'm really gray. I'm kind of in between this so-called dark path and light path. But there are certain things within that path, with even a gray path, that you say, okay, this is what I have to stand against, and this is what's on my side. Odin, very gray kind of god, uses any means necessary to preserve the multiverse. He counsels that, as long as you're working towards that one goal, you can do some messed up stuff, but as long as it's working towards that goal, you can do it. That's kind of how I'm gray as well. Not that I'm great at cursing or like taking people apart, but sometimes I feel it's necessary to bring my I wouldn't say judgment, but my perception against somebody, to bring them down to a level to where they are starting to understand that, okay, I wasn't this master, I wasn't this god, I was this person. And then that's actually a further step moving forward than this constant backpedaling. So in a way, I can be a little bit of a judger in that way, but only with people that are very blind in their own path, very blind to their own motivations and intentions. There's other ways that I might work with dark magic, but I'm not going to go into that. Blood magic is not dark. I don't practice black magic, but I can use magic to influence people. I have that ability. I don't use it very often, but I do use it from time to time. So once again, I'm gray. But it's always towards a general goal that is good for everyone. It's so hard to describe this transformation that I'm going into, that I've been experiencing, that I've been dancing around it this whole video, really, because I can't describe it. It's like basically waking up one morning and realizing that you slowly, let's say you're handicapped, you can't walk, and you start to get feeling in your legs. You're like, oh, I thought this would never happen. Or maybe I've never even used my legs. What is this feeling that is walking? It kind of feels like that's happening to me spiritually. Like, oh, I can do this. I can stand up and start walking of my own free will and without aid, and be able to enact change upon my environment and my world, without having to get somebody else to lean on. That's what it feels like. It feels like this power within me has been building for a long time, and now it's just starting to show its head to me, and I didn't even know it was there. So I just kind of wanted to get some of those ideas out there, let everybody know that in the last few weeks I've been going through this transformation. I don't really know where it's leading just yet, but I'm trying to lead it towards a positive and good intention outcome that, of course, my whole life is directed towards, that I've directed my life towards, but also a little bit directed by the gods and the spirits that I work with, especially the Divine Mother Kali Ma. I trust her implicitly, and I know she has a heavy hand in directing my path. And Odin, I trust implicitly, and I know that he has a heavy hand in my path. Maybe not as much as Kali Ma, but he does have a heavy hand in my path. So while this power is coming out, I'm also having a degree of trust that my gods and spirits will have my back and, nudge me in the right direction as this transformation happens. At any rate, thank you very much for watching, listening. This has kind of been me talking about my spiritual transformation. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to shoot them down in the comment section below on YouTube, or you can contact me on Messenger, Facebook Messenger, at www.facebook.com/hunter.salazar. Friend me, message me. I'd love to hear about your own spiritual transformation, and maybe we can work together and work towards a better world. At any rate, thank you very much for watching, and I hope all of you have a wonderful day.